sitting here watching the news, another tragic story of gun violence in the United States. Um, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Uh, but my uh, thinking is this is just another way that our government's failing us. They're failing us big time. Their sole purpose as the federal government is to protect the people. Protect all the people, not just some of the people, but all the people. Um, this is the second shooting in the last 7 days. Um, 6 people or 8 people actually were killed in a massage parlor just a few days ago, and now we're looking at 10 more people, including a police officer that was killed in Colorado yesterday. Um, Both of these were committed by young men. The one yesterday he's 21 years old. I don't understand what possesses a 21-year-old person to go into a grocery store and just start killing people. Our government's failing us, guys. They want to make gun control like it's some kind of division between in politics. That's what they do with everything, though. Everything's a division in politics. They want to make it to where it's me against you or you against me. It's never about what's best for everybody. It never is. It's only what's best for the powers that are in control, and that's money. It's all about money. Gun control does not create gun sales. It doesn't. It would slow gun sales down, and that they don't want that. There's no profit in slowing down gun sales. There's just not. Gun control doesn't have to mean that we take guns away. That's not what it means. There's other ways to go about this. More in detailed, background checks. I think everybody, or a large percentage of everybody in the United States is well over 60% of people that agree that there should be some kind of a better background check. These they should be done on a state level. Most everybody, not everybody, moves around a lot. So if you've been in a state for 10, 12 years, then it should be judged on a state level. But, for people that travel around and move around, then maybe it should be done on a federal level. If they haven't been in a certain area for a certain amount of time, they should be checking federally. I don't think that there should be any kind of a time limit on when somebody is given a gun. I just don't. To me, that's just silly. I wouldn't, would you give a child a gun? And that's what most of these people have been kids, the young man that went into the high school and shot up a bunch of kids in Sandy Hook, he was a young man, it's children shooting children. And I just don't understand this. I don't understand why our government is working against each other to keep from addressing this issue. It's just another issue. It's like infrastructure. They have no desire to look at infrastructure because there's money being made right now, the way it is. The rich don't believe that we should make changes and spend money to make things better. That's not what it's about. It's about profits. And it's just wrong, people. It's just wrong. I'm sitting here and it's even hard for me to even think about this because I am so sick of people dying because our government can't get together and figure out a way to make it harder for these types of people to get guns. And I believe it can be done. I really do. I honestly believe that it's just them fighting against one another, trying to keep us divided so that their issues are dealt with in the way that they want them dealt with, and it has nothing to do with the people. We the people have lost. We the people. We've let them have it. We've given it to them because we don't question anything. We don't stand up for what we believe in anymore. We're too busy trying to make that money that they're making so hard for us to make. The government spends 20 hours a day of 24 trying to figure out ways to get that money back from us. They don't care they don't want you to have money. Money is power in their eyes. Everything is centered around money. And the more money you have, the easier it is for you. It is. That's just the facts of it. And, people say that money don't buy you happiness, which it doesn't. It's not ever going to make you happy. But what it does do is buy your voice. With money, you're entitled to a voice. Without it, you have no voice. Our voices are tied to money nowadays, and that's just the fact of it. It just is. Everything in this country is based around money. We're even having fights over capitalism and socialism and stuff, which is just crazy. This country has so much socialism, and it has since the 30s. Since World War II, they've said, oh, we're fighting against socialism. We're fighting against socialism. And right after the war, what do? They bring in Social Security. They bring in, everything in this country is socialistic, whether you want to believe that or not. It is. It's the redistributing of money is what socialism is. It's where the government decides who is entitled to the money. Well, that happens every time we have a stimulus package. The 1% are the first ones that they take care of. The same companies this last stimulus reported record profits. Your airlines, your cruise ships, your motel industries and stuff, they were recording record profits, billions and billions of dollars in profits. But what happens 9 months later? They're broke. Why is that? Because the money is no longer a part of the corporation, because we can tax corporations. All the money is distributed amongst their investors. That's the big trick in our economy nowadays, is the rich don't pay taxes. We're the ones that pay the taxes, and we have no voice. Absolutely no voice when it comes to the changing of policies in this country to make things better for everybody. And this is just one of them. This is just one of the issues that I have with our government right now, is the fact that people are dying on a mass scale from gun violence. And I know, a lot of people's going to say, oh, well, there was a guy that drove through a barricade and ran over a bunch of people. But people didn't die. They didn't die. 10 people died yesterday, including one police officer. They talk all the time about Blue Lives Matter and that kind of thing, but they don't really mean it. They don't. They're just as dispensable as we are. They put them out there in front of the situations to draw all the attention, to keep them safe back sitting where they're sitting, because they haven't done anything to make improvements for them either. Every time a police go out on a call like this, when there's a mass shooting and stuff, they're putting their lives on the line. As much problems as I have with our police departments and the structure of our police departments nowadays, I still have a huge amount of respect for these men and women, because they go out there every day and they're putting their lives on the line. They aren't. I don't agree with, some of them shouldn't be police. They shouldn't. I honestly believe that too. But at the same time, I can't take away from the fact that they go out there every day and they put their lives on the line for you and I. They do. More so probably you and I than others. But, there's problems with everything. But we have to start addressing these issues. We can't just keep pushing them to the back burner. We can't. And gun control is one of them that we've been, pushing away for years now. I don't have all the answers. I don't. And I don't pretend that I do. But there are ways that we can get other countries don't have the kind of murders and stuff that we have. They don't have mass shootings and stuff like we have. And it's because they make it harder for people to get guns. They do. And it should be in this country. It should be extremely hard for people to get guns. It's harder to get a driver's license in this country or a passport than it is to buy a gun. Now, how does that make any sense? I don't understand that. I don't understand that, how those things can happen, how it can be harder to to do your simple daily functions than it is to get a gun in this country. And I know the Second Amendment. It's the Second Amendment. Well, the Second Amendment was written in 1776. You know what we fought with in 1776? We had single-shot muzzle-loader guns. We did. That's what we had. We had cannons. That's what we fought with. It wasn't set up. The Second Amendment was never, ever set up to, protect you from your country. That was never what it was set up for. And anybody that thinks that that's what it was set up for is just, they're out of their mind. That's not what it was set up for. The Second Amendment was set up for, creating militias. So, it has nothing to do with you worried about your country. It doesn't. First of all, go up against your country with an AR-15 because they have F-35s, they have Apache attack helicopters. Your AR-15 is, or even an AK-47 or your SK-47, any of those guns are not going to be effective against your country. So that's just a bunch of crap. It's just a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of hillbillies out there trying to, spread fear about, your government is, that's not the way our government is taking over. We're giving up away our rights every single day through trickery. Through trickery, guys. It's because they get your attention on one thing, like the division between gun control, or the division between, Republican and Democrat, all this stuff. It's all put out there for division. It's division. That's what it is. Birth control, all that is out there for division. It's their way of keeping us from agreeing with one another that they need to do better. And that's just the simple facts of it. They need to do better. And they're not doing it. And they're not going to until we stand up and take back our rights. That is the only right that we have, guys. The only actual right that is given to us under the Constitution is that we have the right to pick our politicians. And, it hasn't been that way for a long time. Parties pick the politicians. We get to vote on them. And that's what it amounts to. We have no say-so. They say, you have a say-so in the primaries and stuff. But you really don't. You really don't. The people that are in there are the people that the party wants in there. We get to vote on, choices. But I'm not sure any of the choices are right. I'm not. I don't. There's not a single politician in Washington right now that I trust. Not a single one, and I don't care which side they're on. Even Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is out there talking about, for the people. Yeah, well, and I agree with what he says. I think that some of those things he talks about should be done. But Bernie Sanders knows for a fact that he is never, ever, ever going to be able to get his agenda across. He does. And I've even seen him admit to it a few times that, it takes us, the people. We, the people, have to go out there and make things different. And until we do, it's going to continue to be the same old status quo daily. It is. It's going to be the same thing every single day. We're going to see mass shootings in the street. We are. We're going to see riots at the Capitol because people are being fed lies. They're being spread misinformation. I'm not a Donald Trump fan, and everybody that knows me knows that I'm not. But here's the thing. The one thing I did agree with him is that the media is the enemy of the people. And I say that in a way because here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that all media spreads lies. Of course, there are some that do. They have no responsibility to tell the truth. They have absolutely no responsibility because they have the same freedoms that we have, Freedom of the First Amendment gives them the right to spread their stories however they want to. But here's the thing. The difference between now and when I was a young man is we didn't have all this media. We had 3 TV stations, and all of them were basically, fighting over the same media every day. Now we have so much media, so many different stories. They are the enemy. And I'll tell you, the reason why they're the enemy is not because, like I said, all of them are spreading lies. It's because there are so many different stories out there. There is nothing to bring us together. Everything is a division. That's how they run this company or this country, is with divisions. They continually spread mistruths and and division. It's about division. It's about keeping people from agreeing. That's why we had the political elections that we just had. It's mistruths. It's spreading lies. They don't care about the truth anymore. The truth does not serve them anymore. We have to get back to the truth, people. We do. We have to get back to it. We have to make truth matter. And the truth is, if we had some kind of gun control, if we had better gun control, if we had better mental health services, if it was easier for people to get mental health, healthcare in general. Do you realize that? I mean, more of these people that have mental health issues might be and probably would be seen differently if this country had universal health care, which is right. Everybody should have that right. Nobody, I don't care how much money you have, you shouldn't get any better health care than I get. You shouldn't. A rich man should not get better health care than a poor man. And that's just the truth of it. It's not fair. They talk about all the time. Here's one thing, for instance, insulin. I've got a little nephew that, he talks about it all the time because his wife's diabetic. Well, my mother was diabetic. She died from diabetes. She did. She had several heart operations, and diabetes affects your muscles, and your heart's one of your muscles, and she ended up dying from heart-related issues. But the fact is, we pay for that. Do you realize that most every cure out there, and cures is here's another thing. Let's that's for another video, but they don't create cures anymore. There is no money in creating cures, only treating the symptoms, making things better for you right now, because that's a monthly thing, insulin, that's a monthly thing. We're going to continue to buy their insulin, but insulin costs, $5 a vial to make. And Americans are paying $500, $600 a vial. There's some people that can't afford their insulin. They can't. And my cousin, my little nephew, he's one of them. They are not wealthy people, and his wife takes insulin on a daily basis, and she needs insulin, and it's hard for them to get. So I understand why he's upset, why he's mad. I do. I get it. We're all mad about something. But we're going to continue to be mad about something until we get together and come up with the answers. And the answer is we have to take back our country. We have to take it back away from the politicians. We have to put it back into the hands of we, the people. Not just the rich people, not just the 1%, not just the corporations like Amazon and Microsoft and Apple, and there's other ones, lots of other ones, but we the people. And until we bring it back to we the people, this country is only going to continue to get worse. It really is, and that's just the truth of it. We have to do better. We do. It's just crazy. Like I said, I'm sitting here this morning and I am just totally dumbfounded how, after all the gun problems we've had in the last 4, 5, 6 years, some even going back further than that, why we are still not doing anything about gun control. And like I said, it's not about taking guns away from people. It's making sure that some people don't get them. Some people just don't need them. It makes no sense to me why we can't do a better job with this. All right, well, I rattled on for quite a while, and that is not what I wanted to do. But Here's the thing, people. We have to take our country back. We can't continue to complain about the Democratic Party. We can't continue to complain about the Republican Party. It's about we the people. And until we the people get together and decide what's important, infrastructure, gun control, uh, you know, the health of our planet, the health of our people, you know, until we get back to we the people, it's always going to be us blaming the government and the government not getting anything done. When all in reality, we're the problem. We are the problem. We the people. We quit standing up for what we believe in. We quit making a stink when it was something we don't agree with. And we've got to get back to that. So, again, my heart goes out to the victims of yesterday's shootings, the 9 victims and the 1 police officer. It goes out to their families. I am so sorry that this has happened. I'm so sorry that our government has failed you once again. But most of all, I'm sorry that for your loss. I really am. And we'll be talking to you soon. Peace and love.